Hey everyone, this is Julian doing the weekly analysis. So, as per last week, I'm doing this in a video format so that you guys can more easily refer to this. And at the same time, it's a lot less effort for me to do as well. So, it's the same amount of information, probably even more detail in a video format so you guys can follow. Okay, first of all, we're going to start out with the key events for this week. The key events for this week, I'm just going to run through. As we know, on Monday, um, there's the Martin Luther King's birthday, so U.S. is going to be a bit muted. And I'm just scrolling down for key events. Well, I do see, uh, these BOE speeches. BOE has been the pound has been kind of uh, the pound has been dropping for the last couple of months. All right, and I think at this point of time, especially when we're approaching the lower resistances, like right now it's just tested, and actually the day is not already over, but it's currently beyond the low of the let's see, this is 72 bars. Well, this is about 2 months, 2 months plus 2 months and a half. There's a low of 2 months and a half, and going beyond that, it is also the well, it's been that's pretty much the lowest this year as well. So for that reason, I think the event that's coming up, the BOE Governor's Carney speech, as well as the UK Prime Minister Theresa May's speech, is going to be of some effect. Um, and when this hits, it's probably going to affect in a more long-term kind of way, because this is not a news release. This is in fact more of a news, and it's going to be a speech. So uh, when it comes to speeches, people take notes, people take minutes, and it's up to interpretations. And based on that, people will form their trading plan. Okay, whether it's to buy pound or sell pound, buy some foreign currency, that's going to be a plan. It's going to take place over a couple of hours to a couple of days. So when that hits, I mean, the pre-existing trend is obviously a downward trend, but we are looking for upward indications. If not, it's going to continue downward. Okay. Um, Apart from that, the main thing that really draws my attention is what's happening on Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, so Thursday, I don't know why, but my FX book has given this a lot of weightage. So I think this is going to really go crazy when it hits the markets. Um, so what I can expect is that Wednesday can be very, very muted in its in the U.S. session. Not sure if it's going to affect the London and Europe session as well, but I think it's definitely going to affect the New York session, the New York morning, the New York afternoon. Okay, so typically when there's going to be Fed news like this, it is going to keep the markets very muted in hours leading up to that. And then when news suddenly hits, it goes crazy, and you're going to see like 60, 80 pip fluctuations, whipsaws and stuff. Other than that, the BOC rate statement, interest rate decision, I think this one is going to hit quite hard as well. But then again, people may be keeping up because of the Feds. So personally, on my viewpoint, I would be avoiding Wednesday morning, Wednesday. I'll be avoiding Wednesday afternoon. Okay, Wednesday afternoon. I mean, I'm in Asia, so if you see 11 p.m. here, it's 10 a.m. New York time, and this is going to be Thursday. It's going to be Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday afternoon at 1:30. Okay, so there's a bit of a time difference between my time and yours. So I'll be staying away from this. Okay, and then ECB rate. I believe this will have some effect, but then again, it's been constant. So I don't think there's going to be anything unless it is a different figure. Then we could see some fireworks. But otherwise, I would just say if you want to be on the cautious side, avoid this activity by a little bit. and I would be doing so in my weekly webinars as well. And that's pretty much it. I mean, this should be fun to trade, but the main thing to watch, really, there's just this one. Okay. Now, hitting on to the charts. Here, คุยตั้งนานไม่ได้เปิด screen. Hey everyone, this is Julian from the Binary Lab, and I'm going to be giving this week's overview, and I'll be going through starting with the news events first. This is going to be done in video format just like last week because I find that it's clearer for you to understand. At the same time, it takes less time for me, so I think that's like really two objectives at once. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to look out for the key events, something that I missed out last week in the video. And then we're going to jump back to the charts again. Okay, so first and foremost, on Monday, I will be keeping out of the New York session because it's a Martin Luther King's birthday. So New York's going to be probably closed due to Observance Day. And the next thing I'll be looking out for is the BOE. Basically Bank of England, UK, there's this event coming on Tuesday, and also the very next, the very same evening there is Prime Minister speech as well. So the reason why this is significant is because if you look at the pound USD, basically right now it is testing the 72-day low. In fact, it's pushing past that already. In a couple of hours, when the day candle ends, we will know whether it's going to remain that way or not. Okay. Significantly as well, there's been a significant weekend gap over here, which has yet to close. Okay, and I'm wondering why it hasn't closed. And at the same time, in these kind of events, this being the beginning of January, this also makes it the yearly low. The general trend is downward. As you can see, it's sloping very clearly downward. And in fact, these are also very equidistant as well. So if you put everything into the mix, it means that by default it's going to go down. But whether there's going to be any indications for the pound to finally pick itself up against the US dollar is going to be indicated by, I think, these events. These could have some effect on it, because when it's the usual news releases, we know instantaneously how the market will react when it's based on, let's say, worse than expected or better than expected. But because these speeches do not have any financial figures involved, but if there's new policy that could affect the way business is being dealt in the country, what could happen is that based on what is being spoken at this speech, the major players could be shaping their trading plan around then. And when that happens, it's not going to just manifest in a bunch of minutes or hours, but it's going to probably manifest in the span of days and weeks. Okay, so these policy factors could affect whether people are going to be buying more pound and liquidating their other currency holdings, or liquidating pound and buying other currencies. If so, we could see a continual drop. It is a default, like I said. Now I want to fast forward to the main event for this week. The main event we're looking at, as you can evidently see, my FX book has given this a lot of entries. So it's a Fed monetary policy statement and press conference. And then there's a Yellen speech as well. It's a beige book. This alone, I think it's going to make the BOC interest rate decision very muted. Canadian news usually hits the market very, very, very heavily, but it's either going to make it more brief or maybe even a no effect. But what's going to happen is that with this thing coming up, I can almost guarantee you that on Wednesday, by the way, my timing here is, if you see like 2:30 a.m. on a Thursday, it really is 1:30 p.m. on Wednesday in New York time, because I'm in Singapore. So it's GMT +8, whereas you guys are at -5. So it's a 13-hour difference. So anyways, Wednesday, New York time, I suggest you guys just totally stay out. If you really, really want to, you just want to trade like the first hour of the market open, and then just stay out completely, because it's going to be dead. There may be some people trying to catch first hour volatility, but after that, it's going to be dead. So come back later part. And during this event. During this event, this is like a major thing, being in January as well. It's the first Fed meeting for the year. So we could see like 70, 80 pip whipsaws, and it could get quite crazy, quite exciting here. If you want to watch, do this one. I'll skip this one if you just do this. I'm not sure if this is going to affect the London session on Wednesday, but it might. Okay, so for those of you who are conservative, then you may want to stay out completely, or just stay really, really, really short term, like M1, M5. But otherwise, just stay out till after this is done. Usually after FOMC and Fed's hit, the next day gets quite tradable, like Thursday. So Thursday could get quite tradable. Thursday, the other thing to look out is the ECB interest rate decision. So apart from that, on Friday, there's the jobless claims and permanent building permits change. This one's not really going to be much, and if anything at all, I'll probably be trading this one. But I'll personally be staying out here, because I'll staying out of this one. I'll be staying out on Wednesday AM New York time as well. Okay, so let's go on to the charts. I already pointed out to you that pound is like on a downward climb. Now let's go to a lower time frame and see what's exactly happening there. Okay, so over here on lower time frame, I can see like obviously there's a range being built up right here, and it is obviously waiting for a breakout to the upside. So for forex traders, you're probably looking at something that's going to be going upwards of here. Okay, and when you can bank on a gap covering of about 50 pips or so. But I'm not a forex trader. I'm a binary trader. I look at the very short term. So let's look at the very short terms and see what's in store. Okay, M5, M1. Okay, what affected us last week? Last week I gave a good forecast, but last week was only basically good for Monday, and then the rest of the week was really, really lousy in terms of price action, because what we had a lot was that, where there's a huge overextension, instead of getting a strong rebound, it was one that occurred really slowly, and it was like doji, and it would be like white candle, black candle, white candle, black candle kind of thing. Like basically instead of a retrace, we get a flat sideways action. The same is happening today. Like over here, I can expect that people trying to fish for a reversal are going to get caught. But it's not to say that there's not good activities to be had. There is generally. So I would generally advise looking at the previous swings and seeing how it reacts. One thing also I want to point out to you is that last week last week when we look at especially on like Friday and Thursday as well, if you look at the channel range, it was really bad. It was like 3 pips. So it became very hard to win trades, because winning trades were winning by like half a pip. It was terrible. So on the other hand, over here, this is like a 15.8 pip price channel. That's not bad. Now let's go over to more recent time. More recent time being like the last like 1 hour or so. I'm going to do another equidistant range over here. So this is a bit more recent. We do know that a couple hours ago it was quite good. This for the Europe session. Let's look at the New York. Okay, like today is Martin Luther King's birthday, so let's have a look and see how the range is like. I'm just going to measure a tangent range across. It's about 6 pips. Okay, it's not fantastic. So it's not that it cannot be done. It can be done. Just got to be careful. Okay. What affected us last week as well was that there's a lot of like sideways And when it broke out from a sideways consolidation, the breakout is very brief. So today I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing more like swings occurring over several bars instead. And it actually is a little bit better today than like toward the end of last week. Why I waited for US session today is because I wanted to see if it's behaving well just in the London and only, or is it also behaving well in the US? So today, when I look through the chart, I think that Asian, London, and US is all not bad. Now let's have a look at the other main pairs. Like I said, I show you pound because pound is on the yearly low. Now the other things that I look at is like the Euro USD, the USD JPY, because these are the mains. Now USD JPY just hit a 100-day moving average line and rebounded off. Also gapped down over the weekend, and it has yet to cover the gap yet. So I believe that's going to be happening soon. And with regards to how far this is going down, what I also would probably do is that I would put a Fibonacci here and see, okay, so 61.8. So 61.8 is just around taps with the 100-day moving average. It can hit here and continue down, or it can continue 76.8. If it goes 76.8, it's probably going to go all the way 100%. Going down to the shorter time frames, and let's see what we have over here. As usual, I look at the depth of a range. If the range is wide enough, then it has some meaningful range for trading. Otherwise, a lot of the trades that you take are going to be near misses. Last week on Tuesday, we had a webinar where many of the trades were winning, but only to lose in the last few seconds or last minute. It was painful. So this one in the most recent 1 hour is having 13.8 pips, which is really, really good. Now let's check out this range just before that, okay? The range just before this one, I'm going to stretch out the parallel tool to that spot. Maybe I just adjust it a little bit. And now I'm going to measure it, a 90-degree tangent right across. 7.1 pips, that's not too bad. This one here is garbage. Whenever you see that the range going 90 degrees across is less than 8 even or 7, I would just totally avoid it. Okay, anything less than 5 is deadly. So this one here is about like 5 exact. So this is really fuck you up if you try to trade around here reversals. And even for trend breakouts, it's not going to last long enough. You see, even if you find a area consolidation, it breaks out. So what? One bar to establish the breakout, and you only have 1 bar to reap the profit. Otherwise, before that, it's going to go into another resistance and happy waiting. You're just going to be 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 1 loss. So why bother, right? So look at your conditions before I actually start and do something what I'm doing. Look at the USD JPY next, going down the time frames, going from daily down to lower as well. Daily is let me do a chart refresh. So over the daily here, it is just past the 55, on the way to the 100, and it's kind of middle of nowhere. That's one thing I can say. The angle is very gradual. What I might do is go to a lower time frame and have a look at what's exactly happening. Okay, lower time frame, I see a breakout triangle right here, and this could mean a breakout to either upper or lower sides. And going back out to the daily, I think what it really wants to do is establish new lows. So that's what I would definitely watch out for. And once again, going back to lower time frames, because I do most of my trading on the lower time frames in the binary lab. Okay, let's get rid of this. Wow, this is god awful. This is god awful. It's pathetic. It's really missing out range. This, in fact, is like a pennant. It's like super long triangle setup because it's thinning itself out, as you can see. Look at the lines on this. It's thinning itself out, and the range is super thin. At this point, hey, hang on, wait a sec. 14 pips. Okay, wow, that's quite surprising. I thought it was going to be thin, and we can all see the bands are stuck together. But that means today must have had some really heavy activity. It is kind of strange. Just look at these waves. It looks like nothing, but actually it's quite huge. So let's go to the M1 and see what we can get over there. Okay, let's go to M1, do some channels over here. Okay, now I have a better picture of this. So same thing as what I always do. Now it's looking across 5 pips. Okay, yeah. Now I can confirm that this is bad. I mean, one look, you see alternating black, white, black, white, black, white, 2 bars, 2 bars. That is quite bad in itself. Okay, so this one, I'll just focus on something like this. This is what most of the bars are fitting into. 3.5 pips. This is shit. So could be because it's the Martin Luther King's birthday, so not much activity. But even earlier today, I'm going to find a range like this, London session. And this one here is about 5 pips. It's going to be a bit tough to trade. So once again, not to say that you can't win, but it's just going to be tough. This range over here, obviously you guys can really see some reversals, but the thing is that sometimes they continue to climb before they actually drop. So that's what we don't want to. We can minimize that by looking at the range. Okay, this one's not so bad. This one's about 10 trips-ish. So that one's doable, but this is London, and the New York is just shit right now. So watch your range before you decide what to trade. This one incidentally has a decent breakout move. You can actually catch maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars before it actually cancels out, forms a new support. Now let's look at the Aussie. Okay, Aussie, same thing, 200-day moving average, just like the pound. Pound's going the other way, but this one's going on the other side to the top. This one's hitting 200-day moving average, backed off, gap down as well, just like all the other ones. And the bias right now would be down. Okay, but of course if it goes up, it's gonna take some time to go up. Probably it might come to a certain level and then bounce down and go upwards some more. But otherwise, we have to look at how the activities for this week carry out and see on a small time frame basis how it's going to react. On H1, obviously, there's a lot of pressure, and we see a zone at this area. It can break out to either top or beneath. So what I'm looking at is a very box-like build up at this point. Okay, either way. Now, let's go to the lower time frames. Usually, when there's consolidation, it will mean that price will zigzag a lot, which is good for reversal traders. But at the same time, we want to see whether there's enough consolidation movements for breakout trading. So I typically look at that by seeing whether there's whether the consolidations are very close to overlapping, but in this case they're not. Okay, and I also can see that after breaking out from one consolidation, it's going to the next one almost instantaneously. And once again, just like what I noticed in the USD JPY, there's too few bars to be able to identify an opportunity and take in the next one. Okay. Is there enough movement to be trading this? Well, let's have a look. I mean, you guys know the drill. So I'm gonna do a channel, and then let's see how it is. Oh, it's terrible. 1.5 pips. Don't even bother. Here to here as well. Oh my god, this is bad. Really, really bad. So yeah, same. So let's go way back to London to London. I think it's a bit better. Let's check this. Yeah, that's better. It's doable. 5, no, still not fantastic. Go back to Asian. Asian had some okay activity. Yeah, but it's not fantastic. Okay, so today, so this week, last week, I think we're gonna have to trade it kind of defensive as well. We'll look at one more pair. Obviously, look out for correlations and see which one has more movement and trade that pair instead. 93 to 85. Just visually looking, 5 pips range. No, that's bad. See whether there's any long-term themes or targets to be looking at. There's a lot of gaps going on this week, and now it's at a 161, so it can have some weakness or retrace at this point before it breaks further to form a monthly low, and the monthly low, not just monthly low, but actually annual low as well. So it's got a daily chart. Okay, now to see whether it's going to continue the downtrend or to go into the uptrend. Overall, from what I can see right now, the short-term trading, if you really want to do so, spike and drop techniques could work quite well with a 60-second expiry. For 2 minutes, you really need to look at the range. For many of these ones, the range is way too little to even get 2 minutes safely. And I'll look for trading like 90 seconds, 60 seconds as far as possible. 2 minutes, I'll just look for when the ranges are much bigger, because sometimes if the reverse comes well, it may come too fast, and the next bar could just be going back against you. And very often as well, what gets very frustrating is that looking here, you see how it went down and just came back up to rest against that level. And when the range is not enough, what's going to happen is that, you're going to find that you're just barely in the green for entire duration, and you're going to be holding your breath, like this right here. So if I will end the video, I'll end it right here to show you, because this is the exact behavior we're trying to avoid. Okay, so I would say once again, the approach is going to be defensive trading for this, for this week. So the outlook, would it be better to trade on a higher time frame? There's also a lot of noise and too many, too long wicks, So this week, like last week, on hindsight, I would say that this week any profit is good. But if you are trading and you find that it's very hard to get more wins than losses, or you find that your winning rate is not the usual and you're struggling to even win trades, then I'll suggest you just stop, wait for the next session, try again. And then let's say for Asia, you try it out. Doesn't work, try London. Doesn't work, try US. But make sure that if after about half an hour in front of the screen, you're barely making money, you're break even, and just stop. Okay, so the whole point is like having a mindset to win, and remember what you're doing this for. So if you haven't watched my Christmas special training, make sure you watch that. For members of the Binary Lab, that's already in the videos archive. You can watch that and get yourself familiar with what I mentioned at the very start of the video about being clear about your purpose and then coming up with a training plan. Okay. So with that, I'll see you guys on the sessions this week for those in Binary Lab, because like I said, whenever whatever the condition, I'm committed to helping you succeed in trading. Except that this week, looking at the conditions the way it is, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be trading with you on the live sessions to show you how I handle these situations. Okay, so the sessions may not be as long as usual if the conditions are too tough to make a lot of safe wins. Then the sessions expected to be as short as last week. Last week we had many sessions that are like 30 to 40 minutes each. So expect the same as well for this week. With that, I'll see you guys on my regular webinars. And if you're not already on my mailing list, join my mailing list at thebinarylab.net/sign-up. Bye for now. This is Julian from Binary Lab. Good training.